Hello, dear friends. Welcome back to Love and Life, the channel where we share knowledge for holistic personal growth through great books. Do you believe the life we're living is a game? James Carse says there are at least two kinds of games in this world: finite games and infinite games. Most people are tumbling around inside finite games. Only a small number play the infinite game. So what is a finite game and what is an infinite game? Today, we'll explore this topic through the book Finite and Infinite Games by American philosopher and religious studies scholar James P. Carse. The author of another famous book, Out of Control, once remarked that this work changed his view of life, the universe, and everything else. The book isn't long, but it is not easy to read or fully grasp, because Carse uses highly abstract phrasing and a philosophical style that asks us to ponder and peel back layers of meaning to reach what lies beneath each line. I've read it several times and still feel there are parts I don't fully understand. What's magical is that thoughts from this book keep flashing in my mind, and I find myself asking, am I playing a finite game right now, or an infinite one? Carse doesn't build a strict logical system that hands you concrete answers. Rather, he offers a series of reflections from a higher, broader vantage point. Reflections that can provoke your thinking and invite you to re-examine your own way of living and your values. In the end, only you can answer. Am I living inside finite games or an infinite game? And which do I choose? That's exactly why I want to share this book with you. Even if you only understand a chapter or even a single line, yet it makes a lasting impact on you, that's a book worth reading. This book may inspire a completely new posture toward life and a new understanding of meaning. Purpose: win or continue forever? A finite game aims at winning. In other words, you need a result, a title. A finite game has a clear endpoint. It ends when the audience confers recognition. By contrast, the infinite game has no fixed destination. Its goal isn't to win, but to keep the play going forever. In the infinite game, continual growth and fresh experience are the core meaning. Rather than fixating on the finish line, players savor each step, constantly exploring and creating a new life. The saying, "Life is for experiencing," has become popular lately as a balm for our weary hearts amid many difficulties. On the surface, such words lighten our burden. But why do we still feel unhappy, still chase something to attain? The root reason is that we're still living in finite games. We don't live what we claim to understand. This mismatch between cognition and action becomes a major source of pain. We yearn for the freedom of arriving, yet we imprison ourselves in a chain of finite games, one after another, forgetting there is an infinite game beyond them. At year's end, what did I accomplish this year? Often triggers anxiety, fatigue, and regret. Why? Because we treat year-end like the final whistle of a round of play. A year is closing, and so many things remain unfinished, unattained. Then we console ourselves. There's still time. Next year, I'll try harder. This loop eases our present worry, but drags us into an endless chain of goals. Hope arrow effort, arrow attainment arrow more, hope arrow more effort. In finite games, death equals defeat. If death ends everything, players want to live longer, and almost everyone fears death. In truth, finite players try to preserve a kind of immortality by hoping their names will be remembered, their achievements will last. They seek to amass wealth and power for their descendants, and so on. But Carse says, maintaining immortality is a state of forgetting we have forgotten, forgetting that we voluntarily chose to join a finite game. If we're playing a finite game, how could we ever attain immortality? This is the supreme paradox of finite play, chasing immortality inside a structure that guarantees you can't have it. So finite players suffer. Another reason finite players feel miserable: once they win a title, the game is over. They exit the play, but not in any deeply satisfying way. It's a kind of living death, dying before dying, because they continue breathing while the meaning of their lives has already ended with that game. Take an athlete who trains for years to win Olympic gold. When the medal is won, the game ends, and the athlete often falls into emptiness with no target left to pursue. Or consider someone who aims to earn 10 billion in 5 years. They pour themselves into the work, achieve the number, and the game ends, only to realize they don't feel fulfilled. If they still can, they start another finite game, a new target, because they must keep proving they're winners, replaying the performance. That's why the famously lauded and wealthy so rarely stop. Praise can never be enough. They must defend their status by entering ever more finite games. By contrast, the infinite game cannot repeat because there is no end. Players experience it only once, so they give themselves fully, making play meaningful and alive. Are you in finite games passively or actively? We are all born into finite games with ready-made rules, not set by us, but by winners of prior generations, even ages past. In that sense, we are forced in. Yet at the same time, it's as if we step in by choice. Passive entry. We don't choose our family, social class, or country. From birth, society trains us into qualified players, molding us to meet its standards. Active entry. At a deeper, more philosophical level, some believe that before birth, we choose our family and life's script, stepping into karmic lessons. In any case, once we become self-aware and can choose, participation becomes active. We pick a profession, define who we want to be, and choose how we'll play. In any finite game, players need permission and credentials. If you choose to become a physician, you accept the medical game's rules, study the field, pass exams, earn licenses, fulfill responsibilities. You actively step into the role and commit to playing it well. Infinite players need no one's permission. They don't seek a credential. They simply play. Why does this matter? Because whether our entry is passive or active, we always have another choice. Kevin Kelly, who recommended Carse's book, said, "The distinction erased his hesitation about what to do next." In other words, once you stop hesitating, you can step into the infinite game. Even washing dishes can be an infinite game. It's not that you wash forever, it's how you hold it in your mind. If you think, "I must finish fast so I can watch TV," that's a finite game. If you think, "Washing dishes is enjoyable, I'm savoring it," that is the infinite game. The issue isn't the activity itself, but the mindset with which you play and the role you assume. Kelly's advice: always choose the infinite game. It's that simple. Winner or loser. In finite games, there are winners and losers. Finite games have clear boundaries and require an audience. Boundaries are the rules and norms established by previous winners. The audience is the many who have lost and must live inside those rules. Why do winners need rules? Along the way, infinite players may join finite plays. Picasso opened galleries to earn money. Confucius tried to serve in government. But they didn't drown in finite play. If asked to paint, they painted. If not, they didn't. They could design a fortress and also study a woodpecker's tongue. They lived in freedom. That's the stance of infinite players, disinterest in finite rules and titles. So consider the ancient questions. Is it important to be winner or loser? Do you need an audience to continue your work? Do you study to truly expand your mind? Or just to get an honors diploma and a high-status job? Do you work for the joy and value in the work, or merely for money and respect? Do you start a YouTube channel to share what you love, or to get famous? Do you love a person for who they are, or for the validation you want from them? Do you post a photo for simple joy, or to collect likes? Do you listen to high-frequency music, go vegetarian, chant, for genuine spiritual connection, or to attract wealth and health? Do you practice to return to yourself, or to attain nirvana? These questions aren't for judging you, but for seeing your intention. Are your actions arising from your inner joy, creativity, and values, or from chasing a finish line and the audience's gaze? If your motive is to arrive and to be seen, you're still choosing finite games. Do you have power or strength? Finite players have power. Become a lecturer, a department head, a boss. You gain privileges tied to that title. But note, power belongs to the few who win by competing with or overpowering others. Power is limited in number and in scope, bounded by laws and game rules. Within those bounds, winners enjoy a degree of freedom. Those with little or no power must obey the rules. Their freedom shrinks. Infinite play has no power, but it has strength. Strength isn't bounded. Infinite players don't need to compete, to seize titles, to dominate, yet they have strength because strength is freedom even within limits. Viktor Frankl, in Man's Search for Meaning, was imprisoned in a camp, utterly constrained. Yet he had freedom. That freedom was his strength. Such strength doesn't arise from defeating others. It wells up from within and creates space for others, allowing them to act rather than forcing them to. Power wins recognition and grants freedoms within the system, but remains bound and scarce. Strength, by contrast, is available to any infinite player. Living by a script or creating your own legend. From birth, our lives mix finite and infinite play. Within us, there's a tension between script and myth. Finite players act out scripts, like stage plays with a beginning, middle, and end. Infinite players don't follow scripts. Have you ever taken a spontaneous trip, deciding and going at once? That's mythic. Yet we also follow plans, entrance exams, graduation, marriage, mortgage, script. Finite play also features myth, but only temporarily, used to produce the best result, to become a legend, to master everything, to predict moves, to eliminate uncertainty, to pursue stability and safety, to replicate what worked. Why do we default to scripts? Because we're born into a society that craves immortality. Society itself is a finite game, seeking standardization and continuity, mass-producing replicas of the previous winners, enshrining them in temples so the rest can be the audience forever. Society dislikes disruption and uncertainty. What births disruption and myth? Art and creation. One way society preserves its finite success is by domesticating art, assigning it market value, building museums and collections. The great museums are funded by wealthy families or states. These institutions don't primarily protect art from the public. They distance the public from art. Chilling, isn't it? We live in a society that separates us from the art we all innately possess. We once created freely, coloring life with nature's hues, tasting beauty in light and shadow, breath and earth. Over time, we forgot. We traded our living palette for the gray of office towers. We hung diplomas and medals on our walls, compressing success into finite wins. We used to paint. Finite players suffer because they're haunted by the past. Win one prize, you must win another. You fear losing what you have. You watch the audience's judgments, and the pressure is crushing. When Einstein won the Nobel and was idolized, many urged him to stop researching. If he failed, his reputation would be ruined. Einstein didn't care. He kept exploring, kept playing the infinite game. Infinite players let the past be past. Finite players want the past not to be past. If you keep chasing better than before, the ironic truth is, the more you crave success, the more you fail. Be like Nietzsche's counsel to allow yourself to forget. What's gone is gone. This isn't denial or escape. It's recreating the past through your present creativity. The audience has already forgotten us. All you need to remember is your freedom to play. You can quit your job, travel now, become a poet or novelist. You may choose your game or choose not to play at all. That freedom is yours, so long as you're not driven by ulterior ends. Let me repeat. Believe you are the genius of your own life. There's no formula for raising a genius. Genius comes from being touched. Only when you begin from your own gift and love, answer it wholeheartedly, and create from there, only then does it touch. Being touched is the opposite of being driven. Being driven is an engineered performance toward a foreseen goal. Being touched surprises you. You're immersed. Perhaps right now I'm sharing with full attention and you're listening with full presence. That is being touched. Why is it hard to focus and be touched? Because in finite games, we spend our time worrying, depleting, and having no time, turning everything into a means to survive the present and fend off an unknowable future. Ponder this line. It matters. The purpose of work is not to feed the family, earn money, or burn time, but to create new possibilities. For finite players, freedom is a function of time. You need time first, then you can be free. For infinite players, time is a function of freedom. Your freedom gives you time. When you become an infinite player, you use every moment to play many finite games, without a script and without mistaking yourself for the role. You're not a grim actor. You're a joyful creator. An infinite player can be an audience to any finite play, yet remain simply a watcher, unentangled. And so the play never ends. Carse closes with a line that lingers. There is only one infinite game. If finite games aren't ultimately real, then when you're absorbed in them, are you living in an illusion you yourself constructed? My own answer won't be perfect. Maybe it won't fit you. I hope you'll find your answer. What is the true infinite game? Share your thoughts in the comments after this complex high-altitude book. Reading isn't only listening, it's also daring yourself out of your comfort zone. Only at the edges of our knowledge do we discover other ways of seeing the world, and then live with wiser, stronger choices. Thank you for listening. If you found this video helpful, please share it with someone who needs it. Don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, and turn on the bell to catch our newest videos every week. Thanks again, and see you in the next one.